Let's take a look here. We're against the Hexaghost, actually. This is not tradition on the Silent. Have some pretty decent paths going into the boss fight here. But I don't really like any of these options. Choose a colorless card to obtain 3 random potions. Choose a rare colorless card to obtain for 6 max HP. And in that instance, we do a boss relic swap and hope for the best. Not the best. All right, we got a fusion hammer on floor 0. We can no longer upgrade our cards at rest sites. Yeah, we could have done the rare colorless card and try to get the Hand of Greed or Apotheosis or something like that, but instead I'm just addicted to the boss relic swaps on Silent. They're too good. How do we say no? Does that may change my pathing, actually. We had a really nice comfy path, so I was going to do 3 combats into Elite Campfire, and then decide from there what we want to do. But now that we can only rest at campsites, and we're going into the Hexaghost, I don't really love those paths. Our only late shop is back here. Can't take 2 elites and path into that shop. So... anyway, let's see what happens. I don't know. This could go any which way with 4 energy. Hey, I mean, at current, there is no downside to having the fusion hammer. We've yet to see any negative effect from this card, or this relic. A Gambler's Brew and Dagger Spray. Backflip gets a lot better on 4 energy, but we still need the tools to deal with Act 1 floor fights and elites before we can start leaning into that. Ooh. Wow, these are both super good. So an early Bouncing Flask and an early Noxious Fumes. I think we do the Bouncing Flask since we're on 4 energy. Yes, we will absolutely do this too. We'll remove a strike early on. Things are looking good. I mean, we really want both Noxious Fumes and... doesn't matter. And the Bouncing Noxious Fumes and the Bouncing Flask. So we're looking to pick it up later, if we can find it. The Terror is also okay. On 4 energy, it doesn't matter that it's not upgraded. Certainly don't need the Flying Knee at this point. And the escape plan, we're potentially just going into the Gremlin Knob, and we've only added 1 attack to the deck so far, so do the Terror. Oh. Interesting. I don't usually like this event. 150 gold for Doubt. We can remove it immediately and then go into an elite fight. So there's a starting event or starting pick from Niao that's 250 gold for a random curse. And then there's this event, which is 150 gold for a random curse. And the issue is that you have to remove it. So this is 75 gold, plus we're not removing another strike. Or, yeah. And then our next card remove, which is optimally a strike, is 100 gold. So it gets weird. That said, we would be very close to 300 gold, so we're in rare relic territory, which could be good. Let's see what happens here. Maybe pleasantly surprised. Not be. Oh, baby, we got the kit right here. Accuracy, blade dance. So we do have a chance at a leg sweep. And then we almost certainly just die to Gremlin Knob. Knob is not very good. We could take... can take Eviscerate on 4 energy. It's not my favorite. Okay, well, we're always removing doubt, so let's just do that. I mean, meat on the bone is fantastic, but we're only ever resting at campsites. So the need for meat on the bone is shifted slightly. But yeah, the rest of the shop just does not spark joy. The leg sweep is good. How do I feel about the Ironclad? I always feel weird playing him since he's kind of supposed to take damage all the time. This isn't what I like personally. I agree. The Ironclad is a different playstyle altogether, where if you've ever played Hearthstone, it's similar to like a Warlock type of thing, where you're using your health as a resource, which is a very different feeling. That is, I don't know. I also struggled with the Ironclad early on, and I still do sometimes, with the risk reward between trading HP now to prevent yourself from taking HP later. And if you can keep yourself in that mindset, the cards that do damage to you may shift in value slightly, because you're just paying in damage now to prevent yourself from taking damage later. With some experience, it starts to make more sense, but that's the mindset that I like to keep on the Ironclad. A card like Offering is exceptionally good. The fact that it does 6 damage to you, but you gain energy, you gain card draw. Either you're blocking more that turn to prevent yourself from taking damage, or you're getting a kill, or you're setting up powers, or something like that. Like, paying HP, I don't know. Stick with it. I think the Ironclad is one of the easier classes to start out with. But keep an open mind on that stuff. Yeah, dude, we just died to the Gremlin Knob here. I don't really know what to do. Guess we take the leg sweep. Leg sweep's great against the Hexaghost, keeping weak on him. I don't really know. Could do a colorless potion for the bomb here, potentially. Should have done that last turn. So we're doing 40 damage to all enemies after 3 turns. So that was a mistake. Basically, we just need to get these guys below 40 as best as we can. So we took like 5 extra damage there that I didn't need to take because I didn't use the colorless potion on turn 1. Pick up an incense burner and a dash. Easy takes. Full. What are the odds? I never had a doubt. Is that? Ah. That is Alright. Easy takes. Pick up a burst and a noxious fumes. We did also pick up an incense burner. Every 6 turns gain 1 intangible. Incredible. We have no more late act elites other than this one. We have 33 HP and a Gambler's Brew. We did lose the bag of, or the Ring of the Snake. So again, it's a 50-50 shot on this being Gremlin Knob and us being sad. Let's take the risk. Mango helps. Bad face. We should have Gambler's Brewed that. We should have Gambler's Brewed. That was poor play. Oh my god. Alright, fun run, guys. Fun run. We live. Thank you, Mango. By the way, woo, pick up a mummified hand into a catalyst. Oh, hold on. Hold on. These nerds have now come to ruin all the fun. You know, we may not be able to kill that guy next turn, actually. It's a small problem. That was fantastic. 10 damage. Easy. I had this thought about Burst yesterday that I think, oh my god, it's like the full poison kit halfway through Act 1. A Bouncing Flask, Noxious Fumes, Crippling Cloud, Burst, and Catalyst, all in like the first half of Act 1. Well, first 3 quarters. What was I saying? Something about... oh, Burst. That's what it was. So the Watcher has some mechanics that work off of, like, if the last card you played was an attack or a skill, then this. And I wondered if you changed Burst and took away the first 2 words. If it just said your next skill is played twice, if that would be too strong. And I think the answer is yes. I think it would be too strong. But it would make it more interesting, at least, to play on 3 energy, something like that. May have a place there. Oh, what a great incense burner turn. Yeah, exactly. Effects carry over between turns is the basic mechanic. We could have killed it last turn, but I wanted the extra proc on Incense Burner. We'll absolutely take the after image as well. So ideally the Incense Burner is on 4 by the end of this fight. So either we kill him in 2 turns or we wait. If we draw Catalyst next turn, we're actually close to a kill. Otherwise, we're waiting a lot of turns. Hello, welcome. Welcome. So we do 15 damage over 2 turns. You're on 36. We're gonna do 36 damage next turn. Only ever Catalyst. Okay. It gets slower. I should have played a after image at the very end there. I should have done the math. I don't know if I would have taken the risk. I think we did have the kill here if I used Terror last turn. Could use our attack potion, but I don't. That's worth it. Let's see where we're at. We have 8 plus 11, 20 damage. Not nearly enough. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have played Noxious Fumes. Uh-oh. I think that may end up ruining it, actually. Oh, we get it on 3. Close. Do we have a rest here? And recall was so good if we got Incense Burner on 4. I don't think we need the rest. Sure. Got nothing to do with these campfires anyway. Hey, it's Incense Burner. Yeah, the rest of the fight should be basically autopilot at this point. Brains off. Absolutely could have recalled there. It wasn't even close. Hey, grand finale. I like Doppelganger a lot worse when you can't upgrade it. It's just, it's decent when you can upgrade it, because you can always play it for 0 for extra card draw. But when you're playing it for 1 energy, next turn draw 1 additional card, gain 1 energy, it's only ever paying for itself, which I don't like. So ideally you're playing this for 2 at least. We can pair this with something like a burst, better value, but again, I don't really like it. The 4 energy is what leads me to think about Doppelganger a bit. And I end up taking the die just for some AoE. Hey. Instead of Slaver's Collar, a Hovering Kite, and an Astrolabe, I think this is the easiest Astrolabe I've had in recent history. This is going to be a form of upgrades for us, as well as removal of strikes. Oh. Picked up a second burst, a free Tools of the Trade, which is going to make something else free, and an upgraded leg sweep. All good things. We're going against the champ, and we already have poison scaling in our decks, so basically what we're doing at this point is finding a way to thin it out a bit more. Removal of this last strike. We can even start to remove some of these defends, I think, with After Image and 2 leg sweeps in the deck. Things like burst. If we want to. Ideally, we're going to a late shop, though. Somewhere back here. Johnny, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, Astrolabe is quite good. Initially I did also underestimate Astrolabe, and I think it was the mindset of not appreciating Transform quite as much. So, for instance, the event where you can get jaxed, I used to always just take the Relic. I'm like, hey, 3 strength on turn 1, basically always good. Why would you not do? More recently, I've switched to almost always transforming 2 cards, and those 2 cards are like, hey, it's free strike removal, and basically everything is better than strike. Alright, I'm trying to pick my path here. This late shot, but then we don't get 2 elites. So yeah, Astrolabe has changed a lot in my mind as well, and transforming 3 strikes, even if these weren't the cards we wanted, they'd be upgraded and basically always better than strike. Very rarely are they just curses. And even if one of them does come into your deck as basically a curse, like an Eviscerate that never gets played or something, you were probably never playing that strike anyway. Probably. Yeah, we kind of have to choose between 2 elites or a shop at this point. 24 cards isn't so bad. We're looking for acrobatics at this point. I would really like. We have a backflip already, but acrobatics, looking for footwork. Powers are really good for us. Of course, we want Wraith Form, well-laid plans, things like that. Let's start here. Hey, we have an Incense Burner turn 1. Amazing. I don't know why I put dash into this one. I should have put dash into this one. Ever dead next turn? One's maybe dead next turn. This one's always going to get full value from the weak. Put it on that one. This one's also always attacking next turn, but it's lower HP and we have a Dagger Spray coming around. What? Improbable. Jerk. Well, anyway, weakness on this one blocks for 6, where this one is not quite 6. Easy math. And this one's going to +2 strength, so I think we'll just drop the Catalyst on it now. Even though it's only 3 poison. This is 2 damage to all. Nice. Flex Potion, chance at a Flying Knee, no, none of that. The Flex Potion does pair with our Dagger Spray. That's about it, though. Attack? Nice. Yeah. Be dropping frames. Maybe. I do have just a couple in the last 4 hours. Thank you for saying something, though, because it's very possible that I was dropping frames. Let me keep an eye on it here over the next minute, and we'll see if that changes. Stop dropping? Okay. Thank you for mentioning something. I'll keep an eye on it. It could have just been a momentary thing. I don't know. I hope it was a momentary thing. Might end up having to use our attack potion next turn. Stab you in the back. So our attack potion blocked 10 damage there. It was basically equivalent to a block potion, slightly worse. I think that's worth it. Piercing Wail. Got all the good stuff. Looks like it stopped dropping. We're in friendly territory with the stream now. Okay. Yeah, I haven't dropped any frames recently. I think we're good. That was a very good fight, unlike our previous few chosen fights, which have been quite poor. Sure. Incense Burner is so amazing. Oh, nice. Is there a consensus on who to kill first in this fight? It is basically always the Centurion. If you choose to kill the Mystic first, the Centurion kind of goes berserk in a sense, and will routinely attack you for very large amounts. Like, you'll suddenly start getting hit for 30-some damage per turn, and you'll wonder what is going on at first. Yeah, I am dropping frames again. I have no reason for this. Junk. Yeah, I can see them. It was only a few. If it keeps happening, I'll just restart the stream. I really don't know why it's happening though. Hey, I just talked about this event not that long ago. It's fun. The Augmenter event, that's what it's called. What do you say? So we were just speaking to the value of Astrolabe in removing strikes and stuff from your deck, and I was also just talking about removing defense from our deck at this point, since our strikes are almost entirely gone. I think we could also very reasonably think about removing Dagger Spray at this point, since we have no strength scaling coming up, and we have things like Die 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 and Crippling Cloud for AoE damage. That could very well be better than removing Defend, but we're going into our elite fights where I do want... Like, Dagger Spray still has value in the Gremlin Leader fight, and it's good in the Tri-Slaver fight. After that, it's going to fall off pretty hard, though. I was doing Strike. Neutralize is also pretty bad at this point. Maybe it's Neutralize. So we have 2 leg sweeps and a Crippling Cloud. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 forms of weak by the time we shuffle our deck. Neutralize is only ever basically 3 damage at this point for a free card. Let's do that. Ugh. Got okay. We pick up an Acrobatics, which I specifically asked for at the start of the act, as something that we were looking for to help cycle the deck on 4 energy. And a Tactician. This card is discarded from your hand, gain energy. We do have a Tools of the Trade, so there are worlds where Tactician gets value. It puts us on 5 energy, and we have a way to use 5 energy. May not be that bad. At first, I was not... Oh my god, this is awful. Not very happy to see it. I think this is our Power Potion, though. Ugh. Like, worse. This is somehow worse. So, we drew through basically all of our block and our Piercing Wail on turn 1. So our ability to block from here on out is leg sweep, basically. Guess it's 1,000 cuts. We play some cards. Ah, looks like I dropped like a few more frames. Burst the burst. Or more bursts. Nice. Yeah, this fight's going okay, largely due to poor draw order at the very beginning, though. Nice. Another leg sweep coming up. So our weakness is going to drop off next turn. We're doing 41 damage over 2 turns. This is 12. Let's see here. So if we have 77 minus 41 minus 12, we would have to do 24 damage basically next turn. Or we leg sweep. I don't think there's any world where we do that much damage, except like maybe just burst. It's not even enough. Burst Bouncing Flask isn't enough. Leg sweep. It's a lot happening. Incense Burner. Sad. I think we give Incense Burner another turn. Could kill here. We'll wait. One more turn on the Incense Burner. Stuff. Pick up an Art of War, Strength Potion, and a chance at an upgraded Calculated Gamble. Upgraded cards have pretty high value for us. Calculated Gamble maybe less so, but it's still okay. I'll take it here. The snack plant. I think this deck will get quite a lot of Art of War value. Said I don't think we really need it here. Ouch. This is 11 damage. You go to 36. That was easy. I thought I was gonna have to like get my burst acrobatics on or something like that to find the lethal. Sure, we'll take an upgrade to dodge and roll at this point. Yes, still looking for that footwork though to make a card like dodge and roll exceptionally good. Go here, I guess. Right. Anchor is very good. I think the most, like the biggest thing that we're missing now is like a bag of preparation. We have all this energy on turn one, but like we see here, like we're rarely finding anything to do with it. A lot of it's just going to waste. Just need more card draw on turn one. Bag of prep is that thing. Make something amazing for you? That's not it. We're always getting attacked next turn if we don't kill one here. Oh, I mean, we are killing one. We'd have to kill one of these two this turn to potentially not be attacked next turn. Burst Terror. This guy slays spires. So it's either... like we could potentially just go for the Burst Bouncing Flask and then drop Terror on the Gremlin Leader. We don't get a lot of value from Terror in this deck. So maybe transforming the Terror at this point would have been good. All right, let's see what happens here. It was still pretty good. Yeah, we didn't end up needing the defend. It's not like Burst Terror was particularly good, but it does get it out of our draw pile, I guess. You free. Block is this? This is a pretty good amount of block. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's good enough. And then we just draw a Catalyst next turn. These two aren't dying, though. This one dies next turn. It's okay. We take some damage. Two bursts. Where is my burst catalyst? choose to take 1 damage here to get a bouncing flask off? Probably not. May regret that. May not. We're very close to just killing this guy outright. Yeah, we kill over 2 turns. We're fine. Good fight. Toy Ornithopter and some skippable junk. I guess we'll go ahead and recall. Sure. Maybe the dagger spray wasn't even worth it there because we lost the Art of War. Well, that was not a particularly good turn to begin with. We leg sweep here, we get weak for next turn. Kind of decision between Die and the Noxious Fumes. Noxious Fumes make something free. So if we were to Noxious Fumes first, we'd have greater odds of it hitting Die or leg sweep, which is the things that we want to do. Okay. This one's a little more rough. Incense Burner's next turn. Yikes. We'll still need it next turn though. Not a total loss. $39 damage cultist. It might actually be the highest attack I've ever seen on a cultist. Oh. I get an attack here? Thank you. That fight did not go nearly as well as just the cultist alone. Or the chosen alone. I don't think we need any of that stuff. We've been offered Bane a lot. Sweet. May end up using our strength potion here. Maybe just block potion. We'll see how it goes. I think we get burst terror value again. Do we though? Strength pot dagger spray is pretty good here. Then we think about this. 1, 2. Then we burst for nothing. So we have 13. We take 5 damage. Or we just use dash. $198 turns of vulnerable. Let's go. Yeah, we haven't seen the corpse explosion yet. That's the one piece from the kit that we have yet to come across. Oh, we also haven't seen a deadly poison. Kind of strange. Or one off. So we're always doing dagger spray. Oh, this turn's easy. Okay. Okay. Oh, there's the deadly poison I just mentioned. We are fighting the champ. I think we can rely on just bouncing flask for the poison at this point. We do have burst though. Burst deadly poison's pretty good. Apparitions. No. I don't think so. We have so much max HP as it is. The apparitions do pair nicely with the incense burner and a potential wraith form, but we don't have wraith form yet. I think our block is good. Yeah, I don't think we need that. But only 44 HP. Kind of surprising. For whatever reason, I feel like we're farther ahead than that. We're getting that Art of War value every time. Sure. 7 turns of weakness on the champ currently. Okay, so if we use die right now with all this armor up, we get basically, it doesn't do any damage and we lose Art of War. So we'll just not do that. We have acrobatics next turn. We can use the 5 energy. Hey, there again. Don't really have any way to line up the burst catalyst. We just have to get a little lucky. We have like 2 turns basically to land burst catalyst. We have 1 more burst. Please? He splits next turn anyway, so we're basically, we have burst catalyst to draw. It's there. We just have to get to it. We also have acrobatics, calculated gamble. We should get it next turn. Yeah, we always get it. Nice. Champ, more like chump indeed. Alright, chance at an Alchemize, Grand Finale, and an Envenom. Like, Alchemize a lot with the Toy Ornithopter. Easy take. Cursed Key, a small house. A Pandora's Box. So Pandora's Box at this point just gives us 5 random cards for our defense. It's actually pretty okay. I don't really think we need the 5th or 6th energy, given how often we're able to proc the Artivore at this point. The unironic small house. Alright. Sure. Hey, acrobatics upgrade is pretty good though. Skip on those. We'll trade up our strength potion for a dex pot though. And we'll fight Donu and Deka, their first boss of Act 3 here. We have yet to take on our Flaming Elite. It's on the left-hand side here. Our path is kind of predetermined for us. Be 3 combats, 2 events into a campfire Flaming Elite. See how it goes. Would Tiny House be viable if the upgrade was not random? Man, I feel like... Yeah, I feel like there has to be... There has to be a way that Tiny House is more takeable than in its current state. And I just don't know what that is right now. Like, picking an upgrade is a good start. It would still be hard to take over a 4th energy, though. Like, that's the pool that it's in. I think Tiny House would be maybe overtuned. Well, let me think about this. Maybe if you had it as an uncommon relic, it would be pretty exciting. Or change it to an uncommon relic and then change one of the things it gives you to, like, not give a potion or something. I don't know. I think they need to take it out of the boss relic pool. On 2 energy or 2. Oh. Hey. Let's see. This one's about to go to 4 strength, so we'll apply 2 turns a week. 4 turns a week on that one. Chance of 5 mana skewer with terror too slim to go for. That is a thing. The thing we could have gone for, but generally speaking, I just wasn't in the mind frame that we're trying to do our damage that way anymore, I guess. Fine. I'm kind of past the point where I'm looking to do damage with... with attacks at this point. We ruin Art of War, and we have Burst Catalyst already. So while like 5 mana skewer with terror is pretty good, it's basically, it's 50 damage for 5 energy. Non-trivial, but we're doing the poison thing now. And I'm trying not to add in too many extra cards. At this point, we're already at 29 cards with all of our strikes gone. So we have a lot of stuff to cycle through already. It's all good stuff. Getting rid of, like, if we could get rid of Dagger Spray, Terror, probably even the Die at this point, maybe Tactician, the deck would only get better. Like, yeah, 50 damage, cool. Like, I like 50 damage, but we just don't need it. Okay, I think that's the play. We take 4, though. I guess we could have blocked with the Block Potion. Or Essence of Steel. I don't really value Essence of Steel very highly. Did we ever use Essence of Steel here? Probably not. Ah, we should have. Dang it. This is exactly why I was thinking of using Essence of Steel. So we would have gotten 5 HP from using Essence of Steel, and I want this Poison Potion more than Essence of Steel. We weren't guaranteed to get it, though, so... Hey, why take the unupgraded Skewer when you can just take the upgraded one instead? Sure. 30-card deck. Sure. We will take another leg sweep. So do we burst Bouncing Flask here, or do we apply weak for 3 turns? I think it's always burst Bouncing Flask. We probably block more in the long run by getting out of this fight faster. That's the first time that's actually worked. I could have used Die there, taken 1 damage, but I wanted the Art of War for this turn. Ouch. Ooh, 31 card deck. It's taking all of the upgraded things at this point. This is like a surprising amount of upgraded cards that we've been offered, considering we have no eggs. Let's see, this is... Solidox, thank you for the follow, by the way. Said a second ago. Ah, we had Burst. Dang. Could have done Burst Piercing Whale there. Do we ever... It's dumb. We could do Burst Backflip. It works out. Another thing we could do is we could Burst Alchemize and get 2 free potions. That is basically like 10 extra HP. It's pretty good. That said, we are also going into a campfire, and we have nothing to do there but rest, so maybe that changes the valuation of Burst Alchemize right now. Poison Potion's good. I don't feel the need to change that out. Should have done the Bouncing Flask. Don't have After yet. Okay. This is really close to one of those decks that I was talking about earlier that work with something like a Runic Dome on some level, because again, it doesn't really matter what the enemy's doing because we're kind of always just doing our own thing. It's still nice to know what they're doing, but maybe we don't need to know. Ooh. Transform a card. What is worse now? Terror might be the worst card in the deck. It's like Terror. I think it's got to be Terror. Another after image. Oh my. That's pretty good. I like that. We want the poison potion for Giant Head. We want the duplication potion for Reptomancer. Duplication potion's also very good for Giant Head. Basically, we're just using it as a burst for Catalyst. Yeah. Gotta love a mummified hand. We don't have Tools of the Trade in play yet? How come we have Tiny House? That's a fantastic question. Not sure I can answer it right now. I don't really know. No, I do know. We were offered Cursed Key and something else. We've been proccing Art of War basically every single turn, so we don't really need 6 energy at this point. It's just excessive. And, well, that's the basic reason. I didn't want... So, and we also get a curse because we're always opening the chest for our key piece. Oh, Pandora's Box, that's right. The Pandora's Box was only ever transforming our defense, and... Well, now we have 2 after images, so our defense are actually decent value. And to... doesn't matter. Basically, it was small house by process of elimination. There was just nothing else that I really wanted. No. Rest for 5 HP, because Flaming Elites are spooky. So if we like burst Bouncing Flask Catalyst, we take 11 damage. But we can always use our Strength Potion to get 5 back. Don't really care about that. Perfectly planned Incense Burner turn. How does he do it? See. Good stuff. All right. Good fight, my dude. End up taking 6 damage this fight only. Good fight. Yeah. Up a Tori. Emerald key piece. We'll pass on all that stuff. We're already on 32 cards. I don't think we need to add anything else. Whatever the hell is going on here. We do this. We do die here. Mostly to deal with this exploder. We don't do a lot of burst damage. Let's see where we're at. Going. So we're either fighting... I would like to take on this elite, I think. Yeah, we're really low on relics. I'd like to take on this elite. We don't really do anything at these campfires. So if that's the case, we're either fighting Giant Head or Reptomancer, and I like both of our potions on that fight. If we're potentially fighting a Reptomancer, does that mean we want to put the Incense Burner on 4 in this fight? We do. Yeah. Let's see, let me think about this. So if we have Incense Burner, or we want Incense Burner on 4, this does 5, 9, 12. What am I at? 14 damage. So it's safe to do that. Oh, wait, we have Noxious Fumes. I might have just ruined that, actually. Dang it. Pretty sure I did. Definitely did. So we get Incense Burner on 3. Not very useful. That could be a problem. Could also just be Giant Head, and it doesn't really matter. No, Kunai never does anything. Never mind. Kunai's garbage. Take our Sapphire Key and say Triforce complete. Could have also procced our Incense Burner off of this extra fight here, but that's not what happened. Mind Blast, Impatience, Panacea. Chance at Panache, Finesse, a Mind Blast. Some extra cards in our draw pile. Interesting. I think the middle choice... Don't take anything here. Probably don't take anything here. So it's between Panache and Finesse. Finesse is particularly good with our after images, and it just cycles itself. It's worse on the Time Eater. But we're going against Donu and Deca first, so I don't want to start fighting the Time Eater until we're actually fighting the Time Eater. Take the Finesse. Right, 567 gold. Against a toolbox and ornamental fan. Very late Molten Egg. I think we for sure take the toolbox. We for sure take the second piercing whale for the deck. Probably remove. We're removing dagger spray at this point. It's just always worthless. Could also take a card like Thinking Ahead for card draw. Could be really useful on the Heart or Elite fight. I like that. I think we keep our potions. We could pick up our explosive potion for turn 2 on the Reptomancer fight that I'm again still worried about. Not gonna do that. All right, before I start this elite fight, I need to take a quick minute to get a drink. Throat's getting a little dry. I will be back in just a moment to wrap up the remainder of this run. All right, friends. Sorry about that. Wrap up the run. All right, so Toolbox is offering us Hand of Greed, Blind, and a Sadistic Nature. Seems like a no-brainer on Sadistic Nature. That was wrong, actually. This is not optimal. We've set up a lot of good stuff, but oh god, we're not really doing anything this turn. We could just calculated gamble all this away. We get 1 energy from Tactician. That's maybe correct. We ever leg sweep? Keeps a Reptomancer weak for next turn. She's always attacking next turn. We do. Oof. Oh, these draws were so bad. Drew our Piercing Whale. We have one more Piercing Whale we could get. Okay, well this is not good. Piercing Whale does do damage. Do we ever do Piercing Whale for the Sadistic Nature value? That is Sound of Desperation. If we happen to draw a die and Crippling Cloud, that is 20 damage on its own. It's more than 20 damage. 23. Basically just need Crippling Cloud next turn. We don't need the Piercing Whale. Okay. Now, what do we keep? Either keep Burst or Piercing Whale, I think. Piercing Whale is phenomenal block, and we have another one coming around. What we don't have coming around is basically any card draw outside of Thinking Ahead. Burst does basically always hit a skill, though. I'm just gonna roll the dice on Burst. Burst Crippling Cloud takes care of so much for us. It's a risk, admittedly. But it's always Burst Crippling Cloud. Woo. That's pretty cool. I think I've ever done that before. So if we die, we block 12. And then we can Noxious Fumes to make dodge and roll free. Sure. We'll keep Burst. Keep Burst on top of the draw pile. Doesn't really matter. Sick incense burner turn, though. Whew. Can I just have a sadistic nature in my deck? Substantial damage. Okay. Ah, my burst. Oops. Good fight. Upgraded Deadly Poison. As tempting as you are, we do not need more cards in this deck. Against a floor fight, we probably want the Swift Potion more than Poison. We hit for 16 on turn 1. We'll just take some card draw. My least favorite fight in the game by far. We kind of do need the Noxious Fumes. Okay. I think that's fine. "12 turns of weakness." Pretty good. Oops. Alright, I still like hanging on to the potions we have. We do lose some heals, but we're going into a campfire where we have currently nothing to do there, so maybe it's fine. No, well-laid plans. Okay, we found an attack. I so hate this fight for this, well, many reasons, but having a curse put into your deck is one of the larger reasons why I cannot stand this fight. There is poison in this deck, right? Do I not have enough poison to actually deal with these fights? Maybe I needed to take that Deadly Poison Plus. I thought we were doing better than this, but maybe not. Maybe not. No, we have like no attacks left. Ugh. Boy, card permanently added to my deck. Pass on all that. Transient fight. That is not better. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's how I've gotten away with it so far, is it hasn't really mattered. Because I've been able to line up the Burst Catalyst. And I didn't get the well-laid plans out earlier in that fight, so I wasn't able to line up Burst Catalyst. Which, that's my fault. Much I accept. Burst Catalyst. I mean, we're never seeing Catalyst again this fight, so we might as well get some value out of it. Yes. We just calculate a gamble here. The other option is to Tools of the Trade, Noxious Fumes, then calculate a gamble, but that's not enough. It's too slow. We want Tools of the Trade, we want Noxious Fumes, but they're both too slow. We need, yes, this stuff. First calculated gamble. That is a play. Something that we could have done. For sure. Oh, wait. No. Yes. We always put one of these on top of our deck. And then Well-Laid Plans makes the other one free. We have either 4 extra poison damage or 14 block. I think we need the block this turn. Still take damage though. It's getting worse. Oh, thank you, Tori. I saw the Tori proc. Wow. None of this really does anything. Burst Finesse is definitely a thing here. Also just burst. Dodge and roll. It was a decent fight. It got a little scary somewhere in the middle there. Hey. Last card, Corpse Explosion. Don't mind if I do. You can always draw a skill with Secret Technique. Seems decent for this fight in particular. So if we were to draw a single skill this turn, which would it be? Maybe something like acrobatics. We'd like to draw through to, let's see. I want to draw through to Noxious Fumes, I think? Yeah. We need to strip away this artifact before we can apply our poison. Cards like Corpse Explosion. Do the acrobatics. Draw something amazing. It's also a question of if we save Piercing Wail for defense or artifact remove. It's hard to say. We can burst Calculated Gamble here, and it's okay, because we would have a second charge of burst. We just close our eyes when the first row of cards comes through. Most of what we have to draw is actually playable, so maybe we don't do that. Just kind of sad to not use the burst. Like this. Wow. It's a pretty bad draw, but we have Tools of the Trade and we pulled the Tactician there. Okay. I would like the Explosive Potion for the Bird with Arms fight. We can probably use Regen Potion next turn. Really bad draws. Okay, so we can apply Corpse Explosion this turn. We do not have a lot of block for it, though. The other alternative is to wait until an Incense Burner turn to play it, but we're on, I don't know, we're on 5 energy. I think we almost always, oh, that's nice. Now we always play it this turn. Six. Gain 2 block, take 1 damage. 3 regen, though. We are proccing Art of War basically every single turn at this point. We have no attacks in the deck. I do. Oh, there's 1 attack. Sorry. I do regret not taking the Deadly Poison Plus, though. We were offered it once some time ago, and could have used it. Nice. All right, this fight is, I think, over? Yeah. Just get the boot. Now that's a piece of advice right there. Good stuff. It's probably the best fight we could run into, though. Ah, the bird with arms. Okay. This one is going to be much more tricky. Transmutation is interesting. I think it's normally just going to be bad, though. Dramatic entrance might be necessary. We'll lose Art of War, but our ability to kill 2 cultists is why I wanted the explosive potion to begin with. We could use both our potions on this fight. Also kind of have to decide which powers I want to play. I think well-laid plans we always play. We can hang on to things like Leg Sweep or whatever for block. The after images could maybe come later. Maybe the noxious fumes we need. It's a couple more turns till the incense burner. The nice thing about the 2 after images is they kind of pay for themselves most of the time. Not always, though. Like they do on the not on the multi-attack turns. We could force the strength down with one of our piercing wells. I think we'll go for that. But this is going to be a long fight. Let's see what's in the box. Backflip. Oh, I should have waited till next turn to do that, when we took some damage. Lost some Toy Ornithopter value there. Purpling Cloud. That is pretty amazing. End up taking 0 damage. So we're going to dodge and roll this turn. Maybe we just use acrobatics too. Well, maybe. Maybe we do acrobatics first, and then if we draw a corpse explosion, we can just push that damage forward. Still chaos. Okay. Oh, we could have done calculated gamble there. Get close to guaranteeing the corpse explosion draw. Oh well. Should have bursted that. Minor mistakes are starting to creep in. Must be getting late. All right. At this point, we have a fair amount of poison stacked up, so the remainder of the fight is largely autopilot. We're through the most difficult part, so we'll do the Piercing Whale trick to remove this 6 strength from the Awakened One before he goes into the second phase of the fight. This 1836. Probably burst. We have like the bulk of our deck is just blocks at this point. Ricker Z, thank you for the follow and stopping by and chatting for a while. Let me pay attention. Like, we're not quite to the point where we're ready to start holding Piercing Whale, but we're fast approaching that point. And a few more turns. Kind of a question of if we... It's our scariest turn every time. If we're able to shuffle our deck one more time, or needing it, I actually don't think we are able to get to that point. We're only a few turns away. I don't really want to sit here and do the math, honestly. Reach that point. It's a little sketchy. We don't have a lot of block coming around. The next multi-attack turn could hurt quite a lot. All right. This is our Piercing Whale turn. The Awakened One will permanently lose that strength. That's pretty much it. Hang on to After Image or Acrobatics. I think we hang on to Acrobatics. We have Tactician coming around, so we can always just get our energy back. Have a pretty safe first turn here. Now we are free to play all the powers. This is free. This is free. This is not. Does Awakened One remove all your powers? The Awakened One, I can't show you anymore because that phase of the fight is over. In the first phase of this fight, every time you play a power, on the lower Ascensions, the Awakened One will gain 1 strength per power. On Ascension 19 and higher, I think, the Awakened One gains 2 strength per power. So you have to ask yourself if playing a power is worth the Awakened One gaining strength. Now that we're in the second phase of the fight, it's called Curiosity. It's a little light bulb buff on the Awakened One down here. Now that Curiosity buff is gone in the second half of the fight, we're free to just sit here and spam our powers at this point. So I did a little trick with Piercing Whale that I didn't really explain either. Let's see what we draw before I go on and on. If you apply Piercing Whale, Dark Shackles, or any other temporary strength down thing, can't think of any others right now. Maybe there's another one. On the turn that the Awakened One transitions into the second phase. The strength gained during the first phase will basically be removed, assuming it's less than the amount of strength down you've done. So in our instance, the Awakened One had gained 6 strength. We applied Piercing Wail, that reduced its strength by 6. It went into the second phase, that strength is permanently gone. Basically, the Awakened One is removing, like, it removes all of its debuffs as it transitions into phase 2. And one of those debuffs that it's removing is the debuff that allows the Awakened One to gain its strength back. So it's a permanent effect. Now, it won't go like negative, so if you get it to -4 strength or whatever, it'll just reset to 0. But little Awakened One things. It's a tricky fight. It's particularly difficult for Orby Boy, the defect. That's its name. And so much of the defects kit is based around powers. I have Catalyst coming around. One, two, three. Backflip. We don't even need to backflip. Voids always go into your draw pile, so as you are at the bottom of your draw pile, sometimes you're incentivized to draw cards so the void doesn't end up in your draw pile. Anyway, this fight has a lot of little minor nuances that are, well, they're not particularly difficult, but it can be tricky sometimes. On to Act 4. So we'll rest. Wasted a lot of upgrade opportunities. Second Well-Aid plan. We can't upgrade the first, and we're on 36 cards, so getting a second Well-Aid plans gets us a lot closer to making sure we have it. I guess we'll just take it. I don't know. 37 cards. And a dream. Miss Jackson, thank you very much for the follow as well. The toolbox was changed. It used to just give you a random colorless card at the start of each combat, which was pretty bad. Now you get to choose one of 3. And it's good. I like it quite a lot. What I would like to do, or what I would like of Toolbox, is if you could see your opening hand. You run into some issues if you ever draw 10 cards in your opening hand, like with the Ninja Scroll and Ring of the Snake. That's 10 cards right there. So this card wouldn't be drawable in that instance, but it's pretty niche. Doesn't happen all that often. Anyway, because I would like to take the panic button if we have Well-Aid plans in our opening hand. If we don't, I'll just take blind. I'll just take blind. Hey, we have Well-Aid plans in our opening hand. How about that? What are we holding on to here? We could hold on to Piercing Wail. I'm thinking like we could burst Piercing Wail right now just to remove all of the artifact. Or we could burst Blind, hang on to Piercing Wail for next turn, which is probably correct. But then the shield doesn't get its artifact to remove. If you burst a burst, you do not get more burstices. Well, you do just get more burstices. You don't get more bursts. No, the number, as soon as I play burst, I'm going to burst anyway, so I'll just do this. Your burst thing counter down here will just increase. So you're bursting a burst, so it'll go down by 1, but it's duplicating this skill. So you just get a bunch of extra cards that can be played twice. Your card is not played 3 times. This. Yeah, I think we just hang on to the Piercing Wail. Next turn, we could very easily just be hit by, or for 40, by the Spire Spear. We won't have a burst, but Piercing Wail is still our best form of block in that instance. Thank you, Tori. Oh, we have Incense Burner. I'm an idiot. Okay, that works. Take 1. Turns out we wanted Incense Burner on this turn. Ouch. Our only way to turn right now is Corpse Explosion, but then we're using Corpse Explosion on the artifact charges, which kind of sucks. Let's see what we have as a free card after we do this. Backflip's pretty good. Sure. After Image again. After Image makes something free. It's Piercing Wail. That's pretty good. If you happen to not know with Corpse Explosion, so Corpse Explosion removes 2 charges of artifact. 1 for the poison application, and then 1 for the second half of the text here, which is the actual Corpse Explosion effect. So we can remove both charges of artifact here, or we can just apply the when the enemy dies debuff thing here. Because we could do like Piercing Wail, Corpse Explosion, but that's not particularly good. Yeah, we're using a potion here. It's either Distilled Chaos or it's the attack potion. I don't value the attack potion highly at all. It's almost a net negative with the Art of War. It costs us an energy to play that attack. So if we have to use it to turn, then that's about the best value we're going to get out of the attack potion. Do lose value if we use a potion this turn, though, which I don't like. We After Image, though. This is all garbage anyway. Riddle with Holes is 15 damage, Eviscerate is 18. Seems like easy math to me. Okay. Picked up a Fear Potion, which is also useless. Okay. So we're going to hit for 36. Do this. More damage in this fight than well, more than I wanted to, but you know, more than I thought we should have. Yeah, we want to make sure that our incense burner is on 4 as we transition into the heart fight. So ideally we're winning over the next 6 turns. If the incense burner happens to be on 3, that also works, but I like to have it on 4 myself. For 30. Yikes. That was pretty good. I mean, couldn't have worked out much better than that. Sure. Yeah, probably just take. Oh, I was meant to hang on to one of those leg sweeps. It's kind of a mistake. We will have to hang on to Corpse Explosion. Ah, we can't Corpse Explosion again, though. Maybe we'll have to, I don't know. If I had 2 well-laid plans in play this whole time. Whoops. Okay. Ooh, I don't think we can get the incense burner to the... No, we can't. Can't get it to 3. We heal this guy? Please. Uh-oh. Oh, and I have to think about this. So if it's not on 3 or 4, what do you want it on? Is it 1? Do we want to win this turn? What are we drawing? Catalyst, potentially? Yeah, I think 1 is correct. So it would be turn 1, 2, 3, buffing. Or is it 2? 1? Oh, because we go in, because it's on 2 when we go in. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That still works. The 1 is okay. Okay. Honestly, I didn't bother to do the math. It may have been over that turn, regardless of whether I wanted it to be or not. Sure. 38 cards. 38 cards and an Apotheosis. Yeah? Seems good. Okay. Yeah, our opening hand is solidly okay. I mean, the well-laid hands on, or well-laid plans rather, was crucial. Well-laid hands. That's something else. We're hanging on to Piercing Wail for next turn. Always. So if we Piercing Wail for 1 and we have 5 energy, we should be able to apply the Corpse Explosion. We could also drop our second Well-Laid Plans to hold on to 4 cards. That's a little silly at this point. Take a lot of damage this turn, though. Do we even want the second Well-Laid Plans? Is it even worth taking the 2 damage here? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's fine. Oh, ink bottle. Hello, my friend. Stupid Parasite. Still salty about the Writhing Mass, even in what appears to be a potential win. Okay, so now all of our cards always pay for themselves. With, what am I trying to say? Oh, with After Image versus Beat of Death. What we can't do this turn is burst Crippling Cloud Catalyst, which kind of sucks. If we were to burst Catalyst this turn, it's still pretty good. Like we're close to the, oh, we're not close to the damage cap, but maybe close enough to the damage cap. We have Incense Burner for next turn. And we could always just use the Crippling Cloud next turn to remove artifact charges. It's a thing. We're hoping for the big attack next turn. We also have a Fear Potion to remove artifact charges. So Crippling Cloud would then apply weak if it happens to be the big turn. Ink bottle. No, you're too soon, dude. Ooh, Thinking Ahead Distilled Chaos for the Galaxy Brain play. Ooh. I actually didn't think of that. Oh, ink bottle. Order. Do we ever just distilled chaos for... I don't know. In case it's like bouncing flask or noxious fumes or leg sweep or something. It's okay. We could also save it for like next turn or 2 turns from now if it's the big attack and we just don't have enough block. I just want to get rid of, or I want to use our alchemize rather. I was thinking of saving the Fear Pot to strip artifact. I guess it doesn't matter. Oh. Gotta love when that happens. No, it's the multi-attack turn. That's too bad. I don't need the Piercing Wail quite as much anymore. Could be drawing Void next turn, which sucks. Especially with these backflips, we're good chance of drawing it. The acrobatics. Just gonna keep hanging on to Piercing Wail. Maybe should have played a card last turn for Ink Bottle. Could be a thing. Thinking ahead. Would dash on top of the deck for a small amount of additional damage. Like, what are we trying to do at this point? We're trying to get through to a very small amount of additional poison. Other than that, we're just mitigating damage. It's pretty solid. I'll take it. We got a burst in play right now that we could use. Sure. Oh, that's too bad. Oops, all block. Okay, we'll hang on to Piercing Wail. Technically, our defends are better block at this point than our leg sweeps. Leg sweep is 14 block for 2. Defend is 1 block for 8. So we want these. We could hang on to the Tactician as well. So we could do Tactician Acrobatics. And we'll be on 6 energy. We have another Acrobatics coming around. That could be good. I don't have that much block coming around, though. It's the big attack turn. That's kind of spooky. All right, I think this is fine. We have a lot of draw. That's a hard kill. Yeah. GG. Librarian. Deck size of at least 35 cards. Well fed. Increase your max HP by 15 or more. Shout out to Mango. Good stuff. Useless entropic brews. All right. That was a solid run. We went through and got to, what was that, a 38 card deck at the very end or something like that. Not a lot of relics, only 13 relics. Incense Burner was amazing. This was the run where we got a Fusion Hammer. Fusion Hammer. Did a boss relic swap at the very start. Astrolabe was a pretty big part. I mean, we can't really say too much more without mentioning the Apotheosis on the Heart Fight from the toolbox too. Pretty good. Pretty good. If we didn't get the Apotheosis, that fight would still be going on for sure. If we survived. I mean, I don't know. The deck was pretty strong. We had tons of weakness built in there. We'll see. Opening with a well-laid plans in our first hand was also pretty huge. Good fight.